Welcome to the Deal Champs podcast. We got an exciting giveaway for you guys today. We got a bunch of awesome guests for you guys today. The Master of Hair is back. He's posting the haircuts now. He's embracing the Master of Hair. I'm so excited for it. It only took a year, but it's hit. My name is Stratton Brown. I'm a real estate investor. We own a virtual assistant company. We have a 7-figure real estate portfolio. We've seen 2 different companies to 7 figures in the last 3 years. My other co-host, the Master of Hair, Mr. Jason Pritchard. Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt real quick.
The Deal Champ swag ready. Ready to go, guys. We're going to have a bunch of these T-shirts ready to shoot off the stage at you guys at the Deal Champ Summit. So get ready for that. So we'll have some swag. This is your other co-host, Jason Pritchard. Quick backstory on me. Quit corporate America after 15 years and went full blast into the real estate investing field in 2014. Have not looked back since. Look at all of our special guests there. What a squad.
All right, Sam, you got to go down a little bit, bro. We can only see your nose.
Excited to have all these studs on here, man, to get some Q&A going with you guys, man. I'll pass it over to Dean so he can introduce everybody that we got, and then we'll go from there. Dean, you're muted, buddy.
All right, guys. So Dean Rogers here, your other co-host. You guys know my story. Started in the NFL, transitioned to corporate, then to real estate. Done a lot more deals than Will Dennis right here. Bullshit. Now, done over 600 deals, rental portfolio, all the fun stuff, coaching students. But more importantly, we got some very special guests, okay? We're going to go from behind me down the line. If you want to give a quick little elevator intro, who we got here today?
Sam Primm, done over 1,000 deals in the past 9 years, bought
Like that?
$50 million worth of real estate using none of my own money, and 3 million followers on social media.
Oh,
Wow, he hit 3 million.
he did.
Oh my God.
Right? That's the flex.
Wow, big boy. Nice to
Big
meet
guy.
you. Willie Numbers out of South Florida, over 550 deals, but I'll make it 650 just for Dean's sake, just to beat him on this one.
Good try.
Run a wholesale company out of South Florida, teach Latinos how to do this in Spanish and English. Wow. And I'm going to pass it over to Rafael.
What's up? Rafael Cortez out of Phoenix, Arizona. I've been doing this since 2009, and I've done over 1,200 documented deals. And
Unlike Will.
and also coach real estate wholesaling. Love the podcast. What's up, fam?
I'm Anthony Sandoval. I'm a real estate developer out of LA. I've done 120 projects. I offer in the $2 to $5 million price point, and we're here at Tampa. It's a great event.
Mastermind, baby.
Awesome.
Liam, why don't you
At the
introduce yourself?
Guru Central.
My name is
Capital.
Liam. I started my first software company, scaled it up to $10 million in annual revenue. Now I consult for other software companies.
There we go. What's going on, Liam?
Dean, you want to
All right, guys, everybody who's watching this live, it's going to be an amazing
Yeah.
Q&A.
All right,
it was 500
we'll have
deals an
we'll
hour
have you
ago.
guys on in a second. Go, get out of here.
600.
Get out of here.
All right, Dino, I'm going to mute you because you guys pick up so much background noise. So out of all those people, everyone except Rafael Cortez is going to be speaking at the event. Well, and Willie. And so we're going to do an amazing Q&A with you guys. If you guys have any questions on Instagram or on Facebook on how to raise money, how to grow your social media, how to network, they're all a wealth of knowledge and so experienced. I mean, it's 100 years of experience in this room. But again, guys, don't forget about the Deal Champ Summit coming up on April 19th and 20th. We're about to do our big announcement on who won the VIP ticket. I'm so stoked for that. And if you are on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We love all the engagement and everything else. But Dino, what's your biggest takeaway from the mastermind this week, bro?
Want to take me on mute real quick?
I got you.
Biggest takeaway, man. It continues to be a similar theme as if you're not constantly putting yourself around other people that are doing this at higher levels than you, then you're going to miss out on tons of opportunity, tons of strategies that you need to be implementing. So just the continuous theme is like, you can't be just siloed down, focusing on just what you're doing.
And Anthony, what about you?
What my key takeaway was, and it's kind of the way I operate is always being yourself. You want to operate from integrity, not coming off as something you're not, and just doing the right thing. And I can, people can feel that energy, right? And I always say this in every facet of my business is that people are not going to remember you for the deal, the data, how much money you made them, none of that stuff. People are always going to remember you for how you made them feel. So when you operate from that kind of like mindset, like abundance will come your way. And that's really how my company culture, we have 18 employees now, and our company culture is always do the right thing. If you feel like something's not right, speak up. And when you do that, your whole like company emulates that. And that's why people love coming to our office, shooting, content, because you get that overall positive like energy coming just from one thing.
Yeah. So one thing I want to ask Anthony, and we'll go around, we'll bring in each of these awesome special guests that we have with us today and ask some questions. So you're going to be at Deal Champ Summit. You're one of the speakers.
Yes, we are.
What are the things that you're excited about the event, and what are you going to be speaking about?
So I'm super excited because I don't think I've guest speak before, but not, I think 250 was probably my biggest event. Yours is like double the size probably by the time it's all said and done. So I'm super excited, but a little bit of stage fright because I don't know what kind of level of people are going to be there. So I'm excited just to be around that size of a venue. And I'm going to be talking about raising capital, funding your deals, I'm going to give a couple nuggets and some sauce into how to quickly raise 100K, right? Just by being yourself.
Okay, that's some gas, bro. What a tagline right there.
Yeah.
Tagline. Did you learn that this week?
Well, you buy my course, you could just do $1 million just by being yourself. Yeah. But you got to buy the course first. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, it's just being genuine. As long as you're yourself and you're not trying to emulate something you're not, people will pick that. It's like night and day. People can pick that right away. Like if you're trying, you're sweating, you're trying to, just be yourself. And then, abundance will come your way.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I think you're super authentic. And then everyone in the room with Dino right now, only person I don't know is Sam Primm. Rafael Cortez is one of the most genuine humans I know. Right? You, Mr. Willie Numbers, Mr. Buffman, buys extra small, medium shirts. It's still authentic.
Extra small, medium shirts right now.
It's still authentic, like he's still like is kind of buff. But again, it's all great people and it's all in a great environment. But like Rafael Cortez, I met him when I just got started at a mastermind with like him and Jamil that I talk about all the time. And he treated me like gold and nothing else has changed about him. And I'd say us three of what we've built in our community, it's been the same way. No one's ever switched up. It's just been like, hey, this is what we do. Here's who I am. If you need help, reach out, blah, blah, blah. But it's been 100% authenticity from the beginning.
Exactly. Isn't it a common theme that you see in seminars, conventions, and networking events is that the people that are the most successful are like that, and it's not like the common stereotype like, oh, all rich people are douchebags. It's actually quite the opposite. Some of the best people are the kindest. They're giving. They don't hold back. They just want to give value because the reality is if you do that, like the universe will give you back tenfold. You can't operate out of scarcity. That doesn't get you anywhere really.
And I heard this Hormozy quote this week and it really resonated with me. He was like, anybody who I know is truly wealthy is always humble because they've been getting kicked in the balls for 30 years in entrepreneurship. And they know how hard the game is. And they see where you're at and where you're going and everything that it took to get there. And so, again, when they show their nice cars, it's not a flex, it's their lifestyle. But when you talk to them, it's truly just being humble because of everything they've went through. Like they've had massive peaks and valleys.
Yes.
Where it's very, very hard to be, let's say, arrogant when the universe has humbled you from time to time on a bad deal, bad business transaction. And it brings you back to reality. It's like, oh yeah, like I'm not the sauce.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, we're excited to have you at Deal Champ Summit. You're going to crush it, add tons of value for everybody.
I'm going to come in with the heat.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to raise capital easy.
Yep. So make sure you guys are at the event just to see Anthony alone. Other speakers are just going to be icing on the cake. So thanks for joining us today.
My bad.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Bring
All
Mr.
right, man.
See you
Smeedy
guys
now.
in Fresno. I'm gonna be there one day only.
Strat Daddy says bring in Mr. Smedium.
Bring him in because he's got to go.
You got to run. Okay. Let's get
I'll
that.
see you out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Here you go.
Guys, if you have any questions, we got a lot
This
of
is one
people
of many men you have a crush on. So here's Mr. Rafael Cortez.
My favorite
What's up,
trio
senor?
right here.
Yeah. So Rafael
Sexiest Mexican in
Cortez,
life.
sexiest Mexican in life. Okay.
New
All right.
title. I just got a new title.
You did.
Yeah.
You got another one.
Yeah,
Just
there you go.
add it to the list. So tell me, what have been some of the biggest takeaways for you at this event? We're at a mastermind with a ton of real estate investors all over the country doing lots of different strategies to find success in real estate. What are the things that you're finding the most value out of this event?
Well, one is it's kind of like a old tried and tested one. Collaboration never fails.
Mhm.
That's for sure. The other one, and I think it's the one that just kind of put some just kind of make the hairs on the back of my neck, stand up a little bit, is seeing all the development with AI, everything that's happening with AI. And I think we're at that pivotal point where if you don't start at least to understand it, not necessarily becoming an expert at it yet, because the regular traditional methods still work, but it's not going to be like that for too much longer. I mean, here coming into the next several years or a couple of years, you're going to have to join into that technology aspect of things, because otherwise you're going to be left behind. It's inevitable. The way things are moving, it's just insane. So
Sure.
And I'm an old school kind of guy. I mean, we're rolling out stuff that door knocking, right? It's like one of the oldest ways of lead generation, stuff like that. So that makes me feel all warm and cozy. But the reality is that the perspective has to shift a little bit, and we have to incorporate some of the new new things that are coming up, because
We're in a new era.
yeah,
We're in a new era, and like most changes in time, if you don't adapt,
yeah,
you fall behind and maybe go away. And I was just talking with an AI guy yesterday at dinner, and their company is solely focused on taking in leads and then giving it over to the AI chat people, and they take over the entire conversation pretty much from start till close, essentially, until a live person sends the contract. So pretty wild.
You know what got me? It's like those concepts, right? Like we've heard about them and all that stuff. What's really like intriguing right now is how good they are.
Right.
I mean, there's empathy. There's
Right.
kinds of stuff that's being rolled out through AI, artificial intelligence is just acronyms.
Yep.
But it's crazy how good they are. So if you're on the other side of that screen, you're not aware of what's happening in the world, right? You don't even realize you're talking to a bot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Kind of a trip, right?
Raph,
very much so.
are you close to implementing anything on the AI side? Because I know you have a technical background, you have the software and all that stuff. So I actually, your opinion, I think, is probably someone that people should listen to when it comes to this. Like, where do you think on the scale we're at with AI, and what would you be ready to implement, like, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months with your business?
So we're already doing it in a platform. So we have a platform. It's a door knocking platform. Nothing too crazy, right? We're just going in there and then scraping records and stuff like that. But we're also segmenting and using AI to kind of allocate and qualify the leads as they're coming in. So we're using it, but I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a level 2, right, on the complexity scale. So we're just playing around with it, and I thought it was the coolest thing when I saw it. And it does save a ton of hours in terms of the workload. The stuff that we were doing with 4 VAs, now we're doing it with just automatically through that AI implementation that we rolled out on that internal software. Like, the software is growing, we're adding more features to it. But just given what I just heard on the other room, it was a really, really thorough presentation on the possibilities of it and the tools that are already out there, right, that we can come in and roll out. And I mean, okay, let me just put it this way. Like, my first question went from who to, is there AI for this? Like that's the first question that I'm thinking about already. In terms of building SOPs, in terms of training my team, in terms of new ways of prospecting, new ways of deal structures. I mean, you name it, guys. Like, it's headed that way. So
That's crazy.
What was your biggest
crazy.
like AI takeaway so far? Like something that someone implemented. You're like, yeah, we got to do that.
The conversational AI it's insane. So conversational AI, meaning that there's a platform where you come in and then you start tapping into just, basically DMing, right? But the fact or the way that it's doing it, it's what's crazy. Again, it's got like there's almost empathy to the messages. You don't feel like you're talking to a robot. So it's not a set of scripts, right? It actually goes through a conversation, understands the temperature of the conversation, the emotion behind it, and then it'll repeat it or answer in a fashion that fits. And just some of the examples that have been used on the display, it's crazy. But conversational AI is incredible. And for me to think that we're somebody's standing on the other side of the screen, thinking that they're actually talking to a human being, when the owner of that company is taking a nap or is at the beach somewhere, it's a big win for entrepreneurs, right? But it's also scary as shit.
It's scary too. Yeah, it's really scary. Yeah, especially because the AI technology that we heard about is that they'll also make phone calls.
Yeah.
Right. Kevin Harrington, one of the original Shark Tank guys, was on stage talking about the company he just invested in that just went public is using the AI technology to actually make phone calls and talk on behalf of a human in place of a human to help with your flight changes, right? Or to help with different service-based companies, and pretty crazy.
They have that going on, and there's other software that will mimic your voice, so you can actually create scripts and then just translate them into another language using your voice. All kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, so the potential for tapping into different markets, for example, in our coaching space, right?
Yeah.
Like you can start teaching in Spanish now.
Right.
And
habla español.
Habla español. AI habla español. So I feel like it's breaking down a lot of boundaries and some of the limitations that we've just taken to heart, and it's gonna be wild, man. People are getting very creative with this stuff. And we are right there. We're right at the fork where either people are going to hop onto it and then grow with it, or they're going to be left behind. Again, right now, the traditional stuff is still working. Door knocking is working. And we do a lot of deals that way. But it's time to become aware of it. It's kind of like Bitcoin in 2012, 2013.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Are you close at all, Raph, to doing any like customer facing stuff with AI, or is it all just back end? Would you let an AI bot like chat with like one of your leads just to warm them up and qualify them, or are you still far away from that?
I'm deploying one of those avenues for testing. Just on the conversational stuff, and I'm like, what I'm delegating is basic answers, not like a full sales call or anything like that. So basic answers, just kind of nurturing type of stuff. But I want to see to me, the tonality makes a difference, right? Yeah. If they start or mimicking human emotion on a conversation, it's huge. It's huge. So yeah, that. Doing that on one side of the business for the actual real estate investment, the wholesaling, negotiations, and all that stuff. I think it's we're not there. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Is CJ there right now? Chris Jefferson?
He's not here this time.
No, he didn't come.
Because I wanted to hear about his like offer bolt thing. Him and Steve have been hyping it up, saying that like his AI chatbot is next level as far as taking it from like start to a pretty damn warm pass off in the wholesale space. Because to where we don't really have to do a lot, and this is for months at a time.
Yeah, there's one platform that seems to be just swiping everything through it, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with the one they have, but yeah, I mean the technology is definitely out there, guys. Like it's going to be a matter of competing platforms and value add. I think at the end of the day.
Bro, hell
yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Love you guys.
Champ Summit is coming up. Great always to catch up with Rafael, and just always adding value, man. Appreciate you.
Nice.
All right.
Love you all.
Go.
Bro, what type of camera you got? Do you know?
This is my boy Adam's Sony A7R5. Is it fire or what?
Right. It looks
Great.
really good.
You guys look crispy, dude. Yeah.
Okay, we looking crispy.
Well,
Did you get the mic?
Yeah, I
Did you
got
get the
it.
earpiece?
I got it. I'm rocking.
You're ready. Couldn't even see. All right. Well, we got Mr. Sam Primm, Faster Freedom. He doesn't do it slow. We do fast freedom here.
Faster.
Yeah, faster. We don't do slow, medium, fast. Not even fast.
Nope.
Faster.
Yep, fastest.
The fastest. No, not fastest, just faster.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
accurate.
There's someone else that's fastest.
Probably.
Maybe.
Mhm.
But we got Sam Primm here. He is a speaker at Deal Champ Summit.
I am. Yep.
He's going to crush the stage. So he's like the Louisiana Purchase. He's in the middle of the states, the Midwest. He's going to be bringing the East and the West Coast together.
The gateway to
And,
the West is what we call it.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. And every time I talk to you, you blow my mind. Honestly.
Is that good or bad?
You know, I'll tell you later.
Okay, good.
But I'm always excited to talk to you. Wealth and knowledge. Tell us what you're going to talk about at Deal Champ Summit. What are you excited, fired up to talk about?
I'm gonna talk a lot about leverage. So I've been able to buy about $50 million worth of real estate using
little
none
bit.
of my own money. So
Just a
it's
little
all
bit.
about leverage, right?
Mhm.
Leveraging other people's money, leveraging other people's skill sets. Like you can't do that on your own, right? You have to leverage a lot of different things. And I think leverage is the number one skill set of wealthy, successful people because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. But if you're able to figure out how to leverage other people's money and skills and knowledge, then you can really do a lot of crazy shit. So that's what I'm gonna talk about.
What about your boy Dave Ramsey? What do you got to say about Dave?
Dave, yeah. So there's
doesn't like leverage.
there's these old boomers that are just like they don't like millennials. So Dave Ramsey called me a liar, and then Ken McElroy just called me an idiot last week. So there's just
What?
these old,
Wow.
these old boomers like, get off my lawn. You don't do it how I did it, so we're gonna call you out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Bro,
Ken's
don't
got a
let
bunch
Ken
of leverage
McElroy
on his stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine Ken would
He
be
uses a
anti-debt.
ton of
Yeah,
leverage.
yeah.
Well, McElroy it was more of like one of his team chopped up one of my videos, and I said, that I own, this much real estate. I'm not worried about losing $50 a month cash flow right now because of, depreciation, appreciation, all the tax benefits I get. So $50 a month when I'm, able to make, several hundred a month on those other things was, okay for me. But his team chopped it up and made it look like I was happy to lose $50 a month. So he probably didn't even know that he was calling like out of context me an idiot, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Any press is good press.
Yeah.
And
So, dude,
when
tell
did
me-
Dave Ramsey call you an idiot? Like when did Dave Ramsey?
About a year ago, he took like 3 or 4 minutes out of his show and called out one of my videos and said he called me a liar because I said I was in $25 million worth of debt. And he didn't believe that was true. So he went on this whole tangent about I'm a liar and all these people on social media is filth and all this stuff and all that fun stuff. That was pretty good one though. Dave's got a much bigger brand than Ken McElroy.
Yeah.
Ken McElroy was obviously a
Yeah.
successful, cool dude, but Dave's a old curmudgeony whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, my number one question was how much of a reach did that give you when the old whites came after you?
The old whites. It was. I think it was pretty good. I mean, again, Ken's not doesn't have a huge following. Dave does obviously. Most it got some pretty good press. A lot of people are like, hey, Dave called you a liar. I wish he would call me out because that was him punching down for sure because his brand is 10 million times bigger than mine. But it got me a little bit more reach. But he didn't use my name in the video. It's the only bad thing that Ramsey did. He's like, yeah, that young kid talked about $25 million of debt with his baby on his hip. Like it was my video he was referencing, but he didn't use my name because probably didn't know it. But that would have been even better. So a lot of people sent it to me, and it was me that he was talking about. But I first and said I'd go be on his show and fly down and put it on a credit card, all this fun stuff. But he would never let me on his show because it's not good for his brand.
That would be killer though.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
For sure.
What would you say to him? I'm sure you go toe to toe with him. What would you say to him to defend your argument? He's been so successful with his one way of doing things that even in his mind, if he thinks that it's okay to have debt, he's never going to say it. And I mean, he's been quoted saying you wouldn't borrow $1 billion at 0%. So I would just, explain there are other ways to do things. Like I would say, if you want to not be poor, do what Dave says. If you want to create wealth, do what I say. So I would just have that conversation. So if you want to not be poor, do that. But if you want more out of life and not like eat bologna and cardboard your whole life and pay off all your debts and not enjoy life, then you can do what Dave does.
Sam, where are you getting all your social media ideas? And is most of your reach coming from your TikTok or your IG?
So TikTok's banned right now, which is
Like
very
legit, you can't use it?
legit.
Can't log in.
Can't log in.
It's
Permanently banned.
Wow.
That's a trip.
Wow.
I heard it's going to pass. Like it's going to be like something happens where some U.S. company has
TikTok,
to like.
TikTok.
I thought they had to like divest it and stuff.
It's
But
170
down,
million,
huh?
170 million followers. But my personal TikTok got banned, I think, because of the link in my profile was like a free training, and I didn't know about it. I just got notification saying it's gone. 2 million followers.
Because of the link?
I guess, I don't know for sure. I can't get in. 15 million views a month I get on TikTok is just out of thin air. It's been going about a week and a half. I'm paying some guy, but I don't know, I guess whatever, paying some guy like 10 grand to get it back. So I'll get it back. Yeah, that was very disappointing. I do have 600,000 on Instagram, so we still get, a decent amount of reach, but about 25 million views a month on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Don't you love how there's always like a guy that can get your account back? It's always 5 or 10 grand or something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
is. And my buddy Kong has his taken away like 4 times, and this guy, it works. So I just got to get it.
Okay.
So obnoxiously annoying, but whatever. For 10 grand out, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And so where are you getting most of your ideas? Because I feel like you've kind of pioneered a lot of the videos social wise.
It's just trial and error, man. Honestly, it's just, come up with an idea that works, like 25 million in debt. That's a good hook, right? So I do that walking down the stairs. I'll do that just moving scenes with like something in my hands. I'll do that, talking. I'll do that with music in the background. So I just have experimented a lot, and I'm kind of what you would call, I think, a psychopath. Like I just like look at it, and I put out 3 pieces a day, and I analyze what did well, why I thought it did well, and I'm really I thought what it does well. I'm just really I've been focusing 30 hours a week on it for the past 3 years. Because of my other companies, I have a partner and people running them. So anybody on here, if you spend 30 hours a week, you'd probably have a similar following. So I don't know if it's anything that special. It's just I've been able to dedicate the time to it, and I'm very like analytical about looking at concepts. And I have had a lot of things that people copy, which I love. There's nothing wrong with that. But I have been able to come up with some pretty original ideas, and I think it's just sheer mass volume as well as like trying to just continually improve.
What gave you the idea to focus so much? You just said spend a lot of hours on social media. What gave you that vision to be like, yeah, I'm going to spend my time here?
Well, it started off, I wanted to create a YouTube channel and make like 2-3 grand a video, and just like have those be like rentals. Every video I put out was going to live on the internet forever and just be like rental property. And I suck at YouTube, still kind of do. So then I was like, all right, I'm getting like 80 views, 200 views, not getting any traction. So then I started to post on TikTok and Instagram, and I just have a better knack for short form content, able to explain things simply and clearly and interestingly. And so then that started to get traction. Then people started. So originally it was just for YouTube, but then I started to see the reach and the potential. So then I created a program around it, and we sell 50 to 70 students sign up every single month, and 80% of them come from organic. So I really believe in having a brand, and the bigger my brand gets, the more I'll be able to do with it and plot the brand on top of other companies as well as other products, and just, get obviously a very small scale, but similar, like kind of what Mr. Beast does. So I'm all in on the brand, and that's what I still focus about 70% of my time on.
How much money privately comes from the brand now? Because your business model sounds a lot like Austin Rutherford's. I don't know if Austin's out there, but Austin raises
no, he's not out here
through his brand.
He's in the family, right? Isn't he?
I don't think he is. No, I've never seen him out here. So I don't do any like fundraising or anything like that. So I think I could like syndicate and raise funds, but we have enough going on locally that I don't need that. And all we buy about 250 houses a year. They're all in St. Louis. And my 50 million in real estate's all in St. Louis. So I have a really good stronghold there. If I go internet or nationally, I probably will. But mine just is to give quality information. I'm not like pushy. I don't like a lot of people don't even know I have a coaching program that follow me. So I'm just giving value, and then able to still monetize it through coaching. It's the mentorship's like $9,500, so it's not like super cheap. So we make good money on it through the things that I'm able to build the brand around, not specifically raising money or finding deals on social media.
And then, so explain your funnel. Is your funnel TikTok, IG, and then YouTube? Like, does YouTube do anything?
Not YouTube does a little bit. It used to do more. My funnel mainly is TikTok and Instagram, and Instagram does pretty well. I think I usually get like 5 to 10 million views a month on Instagram. So it does really well, not quite as well as TikTok, but Instagram allows for like many chat and like automatic DMs and able to send like training links. And Instagram is the one I want to have the biggest following on, because I'm able to DM, you're able to create stories and interact. It's just way more of like, you get way more of a connection on Instagram, because the algorithm is a little bit different. On TikTok, somebody follow me and not see a video for 3 weeks, because all they're seeing is, whoever's creating content, and then like a booty shaking, and then like, this and movie clips. And TikTok's just all about virality, and it's all about the actual content. It's not really about the creator. So there's no connection there. Instagram and you know, Facebook to a certain degree, there's a connection there, so it's much more monetizable. The numbers are cool on TikTok, but honestly, I feel like I make more money originally from Instagram over TikTok, even though I have a third of the following.
And then, are you growing your email list pretty heavy? Like, is that
I
something
need
you're
it. So that's the one thing I suck at. So I got about 55,000 emails. So I have a decent email list, and they've
That's
all
big.
come from the free training. They're all like, they're not bought. They're all people that have raised their hand at some point. And that's the one thing that's the next step I'm working on is I need to treat, and people that are successful treat their email list just like social media, right? Just constantly touching people, giving value, so CTAs and things like that. So we do a few emails, and they're really huge for us for leading up to webinars and events and things, but I need to get better at. So I'm not doing a ton with my email list. I need to. I just trying to be good at everything's tough, and I just need to hire it out or just carve out the time to help it out.
And then, so we'll take it back to the real estate side. Is the majority of your portfolio single family houses?
It's split up. So I got about 150 single family houses, 6 apartment complexes, or a similar amount of doors, but 6 apartment complexes, 3 self-storage facilities, and a hotel actually. So it's kind of spread out. I kind of diversified a little bit within real estate.
How do you like? I am not a fan of the single family houses. I think that it's too risky. But your portfolio is so big now that it may not be that way, but it takes a while for it to be meaningful.
100%. Yeah. So single families, they're super liquid. They're great. They're more like, you know, they're easier to sell. So I like them all, but I really like single family at scale. You're 100% right. But I mean, like BlackRock and all these companies are buying single families, but they're buying them in packages. So yes, you have to scale to a certain degree. But when you do, man, you know, I'd rather own 1,000 houses than 1,000 apartment complex doors. Obviously, I'm trying to do a little bit of both, but single families, man, just the power of those is awesome. But obviously apartments, the forced appreciation and a lot of things, apartments are great too. That's why I kind of have a mixture of both.
Still staying strong for the single family.
Still, I love single families.
That's
man.
crazy.
I really do.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
Jason.
think Sam's presentation is going to be one of the ones that gets the most traction at the
Oh,
Deal
I'm
Champ
saying.
Summit, just because everybody obviously kind of new looking in wants to kind of get to the position that you're at, Sam, just owning all the rentals, having all that stuff, right? What are some of the misconceptions that you can share for some of the new people, right? Because they think you're probably just sitting on a beach somewhere collecting passive income from your rental properties, right? What are some of the learning lessons that you've had accumulating a portfolio like that for people that are wanting to come in and grow that up?
Yeah, I got a ton, man. We made so many mistakes growing so quickly. I think the biggest thing for me, I tried to replace my W-2 income with cash flow from rental properties. And when you buy rental properties and none of your own money, it's great, it's scalable, but the kind of downside to it is there's not much cash flow there. There is cash flow, but 100, 200, maybe $300-400, you know, net per door. It's just not going to add up, and it's hard to scale single families. And most people have to start with single families to graduate to multifamilies. I did. I got turned down for a couple multifamily loans until I had to prove myself with several single families. So I think the biggest misconception is the cash flow that comes along with owning single families when you're not using any of your own money. I quickly found out, well, not quickly, I'm kind of an idiot. It took a couple of years to figure out that we need a wholesale and fix and flip as well as buy single families. So you got to do active and passive income at the same time. You can't really do one or the other if you want the holistic, you know, freedom now and freedom later kind of thing. So cash flow is a huge one. And then I just did a presentation at our local meetup in St. Louis last month about just all the mistakes we've made. And there's a lot of them. Most of them are just trying to bite off more than we can chew and trying to figure it out after the fact.
Nice.
Well, dude, as you can tell, your presentation at Deal Champ Summit is going to be on fire. Can't wait to have you, man. It's going to be a pleasure. Thanks for jumping on, dude.
Nice to see you guys.
You as well, bro. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Did Mr. Buff guy leave?
He stepped out to go do hair and makeup. He's going to be right back. Yeah.
Okay. He's got to get that. Like, I think his beard's
He's
fake.
getting a pump.
I think he needs to get like put back on.
Yep. He's getting pumped up. Yeah, I mean, you can just see all the information there. It's just tons. Come on. You're up, handsome. See, it's all warmed up for you.
Oh boy.
Strat.
Oh, this is weird.
Bro,
Cool at the same time.
Willie,
Feels so good, right?
Yes, Strat.
let Dean see the tag on the back of your shirt.
Let Dean see the tag on the back of your shirt.
What does that
There
mean?
you go. It's not a medium, it's a large.
It is a large.
Oh!
It's a cuts large, which means it's a medium.
Dude, if I had an XL, I'd still be jumping out of this shirt.
I had to buy an XL because I wear a lot of large shirts because they fit me and they fit me a little tight, but I couldn't fit into the cuts large. It was just shrink wrapped, and
That's because
it
you're tall,
was
though, not
too
because
much.
you're jacked.
It was too
It's a
much.
different
I was way too jacked for the
I'm
shirt.
6 foot,
What do you-
jacked. You're
I was way
6'4".
too jacked.
I'll give you like 5'10", jocked.
Yeah, he
I'm
put
not-
you just under.
I am
He
not
just put
5'10"
you under. You see
at
that?
all.
Nope.
At all.
600 till or
At
6 foot till the day he
I'm
dies.
a hard 6 foot.
A hard one.
Some would say 6.03, but who cares? Hey, listen, you're all about numbers. We're on a 4.3, 4.4,
Sure,
4.39.
If I ran that, man, it'd be a different story.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Dean wouldn't be doing this. I'll tell you that much.
No,
Dean
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be doing this.
Yeah, if any of us ran that, we wouldn't be doing this.
Shit.
That's
But
for damn
Willie,
sure.
I'm a great
Bro,
swimmer.
Tell us about growing
You
a
are a great
profitable
swimmer.
organization. I think that's
What?
a huge. Tell us
Can
about
you
growing
bump up the volume
and
here? I
staying
can barely
profitable.
Tell us how to run a profitable business. Is that what you said?
How to grow and stay profitable, because you've
Ooh,
grown one of the largest organizations, I'd say, in the country at a point in time.
at a point in time. Yeah. So you got to track your KPIs, man. As you scale up, you're doing a lot more deals, you're doing a lot more volume, but you're also spending a lot more. So one common thing that happens is you lose track of expenses and you're no longer as profitable. Like when you're doing 6 to 10 deals a month, you're extremely profitable at that level. When you start going to 10 to 15 deals a month, you lose some profitability. And when you go above 15 deals per month, you're definitely losing even more profitability. And that's for a number of reasons, right? Number one, you have a bigger team. Number two, you're paying a lot more in commissions, usually 10% on the AB, 10% on the BC. And number three, your cost of acquisition is going up, right? Because you have to spend more money on marketing and you're usually going wider to keep up that deal flow, right? So it's a combination of things. You really have to track your KPIs and your conversions at a certain level. Your team starts to get lazy, so it's very difficult to keep them as efficient as you would like them to be, right? Because they tend to go more for low-hanging fruit. If you have an acquisition agent that's banging out 5 deals a month, why is he going to try for a little bit more, right? If he can get the low-hanging fruit on the easier marketing or the layups, he's not or she's not going to go deeper into follow-up.
Hit that follow-up
Right.
hard.
Exactly. So you need to add these other components. And, when even me, right, 7.9 mil was my peak year. Great. But the profitability of that was 1.8, right? So it wasn't, I'm not complaining and I don't want anybody on this call to cry for me. I did well for myself, but it wasn't anywhere near what you would expect. You hear 7.9 and then you really drop it down and you're like, okay, well, 1.8, right? So we spent a lot more. The next year following that, we did close to 2 mil, right? Because I had the business divorce and I bought them out and all that stuff. And I profited a lot more, like net profit, a lot more than I did on the 7 mil.
Is there a sweet spot, Willie, for like the number of deals that you found, right? Like when you ratchet it up too high, 15, 20 plus, or do you keep it like 8 to 10? Is there a number that you feel like for people that are moving from like either one-man operation or small team where we can shoot for this target of like, hey, 8 to 10, you can get there with a really good team of solid people. You don't have to blow the bank on your marketing budget. What's your experience for that?
I don't know that there's a sweet spot because everybody runs a different organization and every market's a little bit different, right? And it could also depend on your marketing channel. Cash conversion is really important. I'm not trying to deflect your question, but cash conversion is really important too, right? Based on the marketing channels that you're doing, your cash conversion is going to be affected a little bit. Also, depending on your exits, your cash conversion is going to be affected a little bit. So some of my exits as we got bigger, it wasn't all just wholesaling. So it was flips, it was wholesales. So yes, we were profitable, but we were banking a lot more in terms of ROI and ROT and the cash conversion cycle off of the wholesale. So if I could run it back and do it all over again, I would have wholesaled everything. I probably wouldn't have closed on anything in an ideal world. I would have kept a lot more, obviously, but I had some partners that we had a difference of opinion on that, right? So that's a different subject. But sweet spot is I would I would say that the answer to your question is more find a sweet spot of where your cost per acquisition, so your cost per deal, your cost per contract stays within a certain amount, whatever that is for your market, right? Like in South Florida, solid cost for acquisition would be $6K right now today. Back then it was like $4,500, right? If you were pushing outside of those limits, you were not as profitable. So right now, South Florida, my average assignment is about 40K, but my average acquisition is about 8. I'm still very good with those numbers, and I'm sure you guys would be too, right? So I think it's more of a focus on your cost per acquisition and making sure that doesn't get out of control. That's the number one KPI that'll tell you how efficient you're being with your marketing and how efficient you're being at converting these deals.
Good stuff.
Willie, when someone's hiring someone, what do you think that they should pay that commission sales rep? Because I know a dude who pays 30%, and it is not sustainable. 30%.
That's bananas.
Way too high.
That's bananas. I mean,
Bananas.
That's bananas. That guy's not going to be in business for very long.
No.
So, yeah, that's wild. 30% is crazy. So 20% is usually where you want to be at. And I mean 20% meaning 10% on the A/B side, 10% on the B2C side. There's no way you could run a sustainable business if on the A/B you're already losing 30%, right? Listen, the studs and studs and studs of this business are running at, and I mean like really good, a 40% margin. Okay. So just do your math. If you already got 30 out the door, I mean, you're fucked. There's no other way around it.
Yeah.
So I think 10, if you want to, things that I've done over the years is tier them up to, I used to do it by deal numbers, like the amount of deals that they would get in. And then I figured out, well, that just makes them lazy because they're just putting deals on the board. So what I did now is, and for the last year and a half, is depending on the deal sizes. So up to 40K, they get 10%. From 40K to 70K, they get 13%. And 70K plus, they'll get 15%. So number one, it pushes my acquisition to get a deeper discount on the front end. Number two, it pushes my disposition to get a bigger profit and a bigger spread on the back end. So that's how you keep more people honest. If you're just having people saying, well, if I hit 5 deals this month, I'm going to make that cap. Well, guess what's going to happen? Humans are usually creatures of habit. So they're just barely going to hit it. And that's about it. And then you're going to have complacency in your team.
Are you paying your acquisitions guys a base or a draw, or is it 100% commission?
It's 100% commission.
Yeah.
So usually what I do is 60 days, they'll get a draw. And then after that 60 days, the training wheels come off. Their pipeline should definitely be built out at that point. They should be converting some deals, and then they're off of that.
Nice.
And then
During COVID, it was very different, though, for the record. You know, you had to attract really good talent. So we had to start paying people that.
Yeah.
Now it's different.
How do you create good incentives for your teams? Because, I mean, that's Warren Buffett's number one quote. If you want to, like, just master incentives for everybody, and your life will be significantly easier.
Yeah. So I think that's a tough question to answer just with like a one sentence answer. You have to really go back and learn what your team wants, right? What are their expectations and what are their goals, wants, and needs? I've had salespeople in my organization that are younger, for example. They just don't give a shit about anything else. They just want money. They want to ball out. They want to have that sick car. They want to live in the sick apartment. They want to buy the stupid shit that they think I'm buying or whatever it is. And they think that that's their idea. So they just do that. And then you have, you know, people that have families, for example, that's not going to drive them. Money's not going to drive them. Their fulfillment is, hey, I like working here. I like being here. I like the culture of this place. I like the environment of this place. So I think everybody's a little bit different when it comes to incentives. Not saying that you should run around and, you know, if you have 20 people on your team, incentivize 20 people 20 different ways, right? But I think it goes back to aligning with the company goals, aligning with those individuals' goals, right? Having a happy medium and things that are going to drive revenue and that are going to make them happy. You'd be shocked, and I know it's crazy to say, but you'd be shocked. A lot of your team members aren't necessarily looking for a bonus or aren't necessarily looking to make more money. They want to be heard. They want to feel included. Right. They want to feel, you know, like they're part of something. And they want to feel like, hey, there's a trajectory here. I can see myself here for the next few years, right? And that's much more important to them. Some people like, you know, some time off. That's great, right? So for me, none of those things would drive me. For me, it would be, you know, more revenue, more time back in my life, right? Like those are the things that are going to drive me. And then watching people in my organization crush it. That's what's going to drive me, right, as a leader.
Culture building is something that I don't think a lot of us in this space talk about. Obviously, I agree with you 100%. I think if you have a rock solid culture, your team is stickier, they stay with you longer, that type of stuff, right? What do you do with your team, Willie, to just build that culture? Because I think for us, we're all type A drivers. We don't, like we don't need the touchy feely stuff, but for a lot of our team members, they do. So how do you build that stuff out?
Yeah, so there's a number of ways that you can do that. I think, again, going back to getting to know your team, getting to know what they're incentivized. I run a fully virtual team now, so culture's a little
even
bit
harder.
more challenging.
Yeah.
Really, culture's a little bit more challenging on Zooms like this, right? Like, for example, I'm sitting next to Gene right now, and I'm feeling the culture wave right here, but I can't really have the same feeling with Strat or with you, right, on the other side. So
You can't see our hands, but he's holding my leg the whole time. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, he keeps tugging on my vest. That's why you kind of keep seeing it coming down. But anyway, that's upside. It's not going to come off, so relax. Yeah, culture is interesting, man. Some things you can do is, you can pay for some training. You can pay to immerse them in different things. Experiences are great. I'm a big fan of like spot bonusing, right? VAs and stuff like that.
Yep.
For my VAs, one thing I've always done is like, from random things to upgrading their internet, to sending them new computers, to buying stuff for their families, to giving them a gift card out of nowhere. Teams that have been in-house, it might be sending them to some sort of an event, a weekend seminar or something like that. Random challenges are great, just to keep things moving. Right now, the last few weeks, sales have not been where I would have liked them to be. So I just started an incentive and a challenge amongst the sales team on the acquisition side. And believe it or not, surprise, surprise, numbers have gone up. The offers have gone up. The conversation has gone up. The talk time has gone up. Contracts on the board have gone up. So they seem to be reinvigorated by that kind of stuff. For us as entrepreneurs, we have a tendency to, we want all the revenue today, and we want to switch this one thing today, and we want it all to run back tomorrow, and and we want $1 million tomorrow. That's just not realistic, right? I ran the organization like that for a while, but yeah, I think it's a little bit different for everybody.
Nice,
bro. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. We're about to
thanks for coming on, Spitting Fire, man.
Thanks, man.
Spitting Fire. We're gonna have you on a Deal Champ Summit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
speaker
come out to
spot
Cali
in the near future. Get you. I mean, I don't know. Are you gonna fly? Are you gonna swim all the way there? What's the best way for you? You might prefer one over the other. We'll see.
I could swim all the way over there.
I bet you could.
I think you can do it, bro. It's in your blood. It's in your blood.
It's so funny. Only if Strat could jump higher, that'd be in his blood. You like that one? Boom, boom! Got your back, Strat. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Now your audience can be like, damn, who was that guy?
I know.
The first two were like a warm up. Who was that guy?
It did. I'll take that. Oh man. Well, that's all the special guest speakers we got jumping on today. Obviously, tons of gold. These guys have accomplished so much in their career, lots of wisdom. So just fun to spend time with them for a couple of days, and seeing how that goes.
Well, that's a hell of a camera.
It's a good one, huh?
All right. Dino, let's let you do the announcing on who the VIP ticket winner was. And thank you guys so much for all the engagement. We had so many people to choose from. But, I mean, this dude has been following us. He put in the most as far as engagement with us. And then he's been to all of our events over and over and over again. So this dude 100% deserves it.
Yeah, so we got a big announcement for the VIP ticket giveaway, okay? VIP ticket giveaway means that you get access to the VIP after party, and you get to go golfing with us on day 3 and the other VIP ticket holders. So gonna be fun. Get an opportunity to see the behind-the-scenes conversations with the speakers, with the special guests, And the party is going to be off the chains. The golfing is going to be super fun. I just got my golf clubs all re-gripped because it had been so long I'd played golf that the grips were rubbing off. So I re-gripped them. They're all maxed out, ready to go. So without further ado, we've got our VIP ticket giveaway. Let me pull this up here. Okay, so this guy, like you said, Strat Doodle, is somebody that's been following us and really been supporting us, and no different right here. So he posted this a couple times on his Instagram. The VIP takeaway goes to Rafael Orozco. So I don't know if you guys
Congrats,
can see that.
bro. Yeah.
Congrats,
Rafael, congrats, man. We can't wait to spend some more time with you at the event. If you're not watching this now, of course, we're going to post and announce it about your VIP ticket giveaway winner. So congratulations on that, man.
Love it.
And then shout out Greg Helbeck, my guy, Greg.
Greg Helbeck. Yes,
friend,
sir.
friend of the pod. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
All right, guys. That's all we got for today. Do not forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on the podcast app, we'll give us a 5-star review. We will see you guys next week. And do not forget to go get your tickets at dealchamps.com/summit. We'll see you guys all there, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.